quiero presentarles a una mujer muy talentosa y muy querida. Ella nos acompaña desde Suiza, es oradora internacional y nos viene a presentar lo que muy ingeniosamente ha llamado Lipstick Leadership. También es autora de libros y podcaster. Les presento a Susanne Mueller.
Hello, everybody. This is a big moment for me where I can step in the big shoes of the beautiful Monica Medina. Thank you so much for your beautiful voice. I'm very happy I don't have to sing. I will be sharing my presentation. And today we have heard many statistics. We have heard, let's just start. We have heard many dire statistics and sad statistics. So after the lunch or the siesta, I would like to have it a little on the lighter side and inspire and empower women who dare to lead. So, well, we have heard that 51% we are the women power to the world. Let's look how we can uplift that a little more. It's now the time. So my name is Susanne Mueller and I will take you on a journey. This is my journey from Switzerland to New York and becoming a global nomad. But in these times with the pandemic, we cannot travel so much. So I figured, why not take that time and reflect a little bit how we can work on equality, sisterhood, and liberty. I have many stories to tell you, so let me start here. The picture on the very left is my grandmother, and we were walking, hiking every weekend. It was beautiful to be with the family. So having a healthy lifestyle has been in my DNA forever, and I will continue. It's important to be happy and healthy. Then working for the airline has brought me to New York. Coming from a small town for 40,000 people and a country in Switzerland of 8 million people, to come to New York, Manhattan, when we have 8 million people, it's a big jump for somebody young. I started in New York with $2,000. What can you do with $2,000? A lot if you are inspired and if you do not give up. We are the women, we have to break through the glass ceiling. We heard the numbers this morning, so now is the time. And actually, New York has given me many opportunities, and I follow the mantra of the newly Vice President Kamala Harris. I might be the first, but I won't be the last. So if we take that mantra for us, this is our first conference, Women Leadership and Beyond. We might be the first, but we're not the last. This is a movement that we're starting now. Be part of this journey. Together, we can do many great things. And the African proverb says it, if you want to walk fast, walk alone. If you want to walk far, walk together. This is how 9 beautiful women came together online, virtually, and see what we have completed, what we can showcase today. And I have to say, I'm a little jealous because on our WhatsApp, I've seen that the crew in Mérida, in Yucatan, in Mexico, they had a fantastic lunch. They took pictures. They're having fun without us, who are just joining them virtually. So talking about dreams, my dream would be that we are meeting in person, hopefully by next year. And that's again to say our journey starts today, but it will not end by today or tomorrow. We are here to start it, and we will be talking about the coffee breaks that we will be having following by the conference. Many conferences, they stop 1 or 2 days, that's it. But we want to go beyond. That's why it's called Women Leadership and Beyond. So be part of the journey. I want to take you onto that journey. So let's go back to New York. New York has been a great opportunity for me, catching up on diversity, coming from a small town where it's very homogeneous. you get to see, I was working at the Swiss mission to the United Nations. I was very honored to sometimes eat at the cafeteria of the United Nations. This was opening the doors to my world. I love to read. I love to learn about other cultures. This was exactly the place for me. Come with me, we see more. And then also I started to run. I'm a runner. I've completed 26 marathon races and also 15 New York City marathon races. So a big accomplishment. And the picture in the middle is me. And yes, I'm an Ironman. I completed the Ironman distance, which is, and I say it in kilometers now, 3.8 kilometer or 2.4 mile swim, then followed by 190 kilometers on the bike, 112 miles on the bike, and followed by a full marathon, 26.2 miles or 42 kilometers. And yes, all in one day, I completed it. It was a huge, or it is a huge accomplishment. And what I also want to say is women sometimes don't dare to brag, but actually you see me crossing the finish line of the Ironman competition. It's not bragging. So put that as a tattoo in your head. Once you have accomplished something, it's actually not bragging. You have accomplished that and you should be very proud of it. So whatever your accomplishments are, be proud of it. And maybe it's also take out a little piece of paper and a pen, because we will be working a little bit. So it's not only about listening today, but we will be working as well. And that led me then to write the book, Take It From the Iron Woman, which is global business coaching with sports parallels. That's my philosophy. If you are a good sports person, you can transfer that into leadership, into the business. So running and swimming and biking gives me the endurance, the energy, and I can rejuvenate my batteries to be fully present and to give more to others, so I can empower and inspire others. And Take It From the Iron Woman is also my podcast. So listen to Lucy, Erica, and Janine, who have been guests already on my podcast. It feels like my journey, it doesn't end. It doesn't end. I want to continue and want to have you on my journey. So bear with me. And what is the global nomad? So I said I was working for the airline, and thanks to the airline, I was able to travel. Now it has been 54 countries so far. Isn't that amazing? And you see me on top of Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro is the highest point in Africa, and it's 5,895 meters above the sea level, so very high up. And no, we did not need oxygen, but it's again an accomplishment. And if we were in the conference together now, I would invite you to stand up and have your hands up, because that's the victory sign. You see me in the Ironman picture with the victory, but also on the Kilimanjaro with the hands up. So this is showing up. I have completed it. I'm very proud of what I have completed. I will ask that question many times. What have you accomplished that you can be proud of? And it's not bragging. Once we have completed it, it's something you can say, I've completed it. So make sure you have that saying. You don't brag, it's an accomplishment. Let's get on that journey. Are you ready? So what is my talk all about? When we see that 2 million women have left the workforce during the pandemic in the US, how sad is that? 2 million women have left the workforce. We want to make sure we can reintegrate them, hopefully very soon. And it's about taking one step at a time. We've heard the statistics, but we need to go beyond. So in 2020, 4 times as many women lost their jobs as men. That's another very sad statistics. 4 times more women have lost a job. And what I've heard is that sometimes the women, they have to take care of the children. So what do? They have to stay at home. So it's about the fraternity, but I changed it into sisterhood. Women must support women, and we show that here, women leadership and beyond. Also, we want to include the men and everyone. It's about including everybody. Everybody needs to be included on that path to equality and liberty. Be on that journey, raise up, empower others, inspire others who are daring to lead. And the lipstick leadership is, some people think it's a joke, it's very cute, though the lipstick industry will be a $10 billion industry by 2025. That's only in 4 years. So in 4 years, it's a tremendous industry that we can follow. And if you think when the economy is not that good, we buy a new lipstick, we don't spend many dollars or pesos for a new outfit. It's very easy to change. And a friend of mine says, if I put on the lipstick, I feel already much, much better. Don't underestimate that. It's lifting you up. It's giving you this oomph that we need in order to be successful. Again, these are your achievements. Put the lipstick on. And the Swiss women, they have been voting only since 1971. So it's only 50 years ago where Swiss women have been able to vote, versus Mexican women have been voting since 1953. I have a few more other countries to highlight how the voting rights have been. So France, 1944, Argentina, 1947, the Netherlands, 1919, Uganda in Africa, 1962, Brazil, 1970. And what else do we have? Italy, 1945. So these are some numbers, but it doesn't mean that as of that day, everything was 100% better. So it's those women or men who have been fighting for us that we are able to vote. So thank you for all who have been voting before us. So we have equality, sisterhood, and we can work towards liberty. And when you look at equality, is something to which everyone needs to aspire to ensure fairness in a global, diverse world. We heard today from the Mercer presentation, we can maybe close that pay gap, that gender gap, but it takes a few more steps, and it should be in our lifetimes. It has to be in our lifetimes. And the next part is the liberty, where freedom is all you want, all you need is love. We know that. This is simple but meaningful. So it's about equality, where we learn and grow together, that we are on an equal plane. And the sisterhood is where we support each other, and we can learn from exciting women who have been trailblazers. One quote that I love is, and again, make sure you listen carefully. Lady Gaga says, you're laughing at me because I'm different. I'm laughing at you because you're the same. You're laughing at me because I'm different. I'm laughing at you because you're the same. So now is the time to stand up, lean in, and get something done. We're here with you. We're helping you. And that's why we have this conference also. And with the liberty piece, we put everything together. All you need is love. And Madonna says, a lot of people, and I would like to change that, a lot of women don't ask what they want. That's why they don't get what they want. So you only have to ask, and don't be afraid. Ask now. Now is the time. If not now, then when? So it's about daring to say and to stand up. And me coming from Switzerland to the US, it wasn't that easy. It's a huge culture change. Yes, I knew the language, but in Switzerland, as an example, you only talk, or mostly, when you're being asked. So people thought I was a shy person. Well, I was waiting that somebody would ask me a question versus what I've learned now in the US. You just have to jump in and say, I want to say something. So we have to learn that other cultures are different. And if you're used to waiting till somebody asks you a question and nobody's asking you a question, then you might be missing out. So don't miss out. We need to speak up now. Now is the time. If not now, then when? Let's move on the journey. And listen to this, to women who are labeled, and we don't want that. If you are aggressive, keep being assertive, busy, keep leading, bossy. When we hear women are bossy, this means these are leaders. So I think this is a compliment. Difficult, keep telling the truth. We want to tell the truth. We want to stand up. We want to be the first in the industry. Too much. Keep taking up that space. That's what I learned. So I need to keep up the space and talk when I think I have something to contribute. Awkward. Keep asking hard questions. You know that sometimes when people are asking questions, they say 1 or 2 more questions. The women, they take the hand down. No. Ask those hard questions. And I want to invite the audience, if you have questions, put them in the chat or in the Q&A, and I'm happy to answer them as we go along. I wish we could see each other in person. That will be next time. So don't shrink yourself to make people happy. Be yourself. You're beautiful that way. Be yourself. You're beautiful that way. Put the lipstick on, stand up, lean in. So in the equality, now it's time to take out a piece of paper and the pen. What have you achieved? What have you achieved that nobody can take away from you? I give you just a few seconds to think, like, what have you achieved that nobody can take away from you? I know a lot of our contributors for the conference are going for a master's degree. This is something nobody can take away from you. Don't underestimate that. So what have you achieved that nobody can take away from you? And the next question is, like, what are you proud of? So if you think about my journey, I have climbed Kilimanjaro. I've completed the Ironman. Nobody can take that away from me. I have the medal. I have a finisher t-shirt from the Ironman, and I will not give that t-shirt away. This is my t-shirt. And the other question that sometimes is very helpful: what would other people say about you? And again, dare to ask the question, what do you think about me? Ask for feedback. Don't shy away. So if you give a presentation, as we saw this morning, Rocio, she gave a very powerful presentation. What would other people say about her? Powerful, engaging, enriching. We learned a lot. We grew with her. That's what other people say. And sometimes we also want to hear what people say about you when you're not in the room. This is called executive presence. So what can you do to actually highlight your profile, and that people will say, next time when we have a meeting, we want Rocio to present, or me. This is because you have seen the presentations. This is a person we want to see. So I'm wondering, what have you achieved that nobody can take away from you? What are you proud of? Is there anybody who wants to share at this point, or we just go on? It's a little hard in this forum to have a good, we have one more. Let's see if we can get that. Somebody raised a hand. Your persona will not take away and keep a voice. So thank you so much. We have to create a persona. We want to create an image, a brand of ourselves. And this is what the people want to see, and stand by it. Don't change it every few moments, every few times. So be strong, create a voice. As I said, in Switzerland, in that culture, typically you wait till somebody's asking for your expertise. But sometimes when you have an insight, you want to share that right away. So don't shy away, voice whatever you think, and have those hard questions, challenge the status quo. We want to hear from you. That's how innovation is happening. And the Mercer presentation was about innovation. How can we start innovation? Well, if you don't say what you think, what you see, we don't know. So as I've seen in the New York City subway, if you see something, say something. That should also go for a discussion. Even if you think, no, this is stupid, there's no stupid questions. Even if you think it's a stupid idea, you might become a multi-million person. Don't give up. So again, think, what have you achieved? We can take away from you. A lot of people are going for the master's. What are you proud of when you have that master's degree? I have my master's degree too. I'm very proud of that. I worked very hard. And what would people say about you? Hardworking, optimistic. Okay, there might be another one. Is it important what other people think or say about us? So in a way, when you think like, what would people say about you? When you work in an organization, picture yourself, they talk about promotions. Typically, when it's time for promotion or even salary increase, you are not in the room. You are not in the room. So if people say, let's say, Susanne is always very shy, she doesn't contribute, do you think I will get a salary increase? Versus when I'm bubbly, I'm out there, they say, oh, she speaks, she has good ideas, I will get a promotion. So I think it is important what they say about you. However, and there's the negative point, sometimes you also hear critiques. When you have an idea, people say, no, this is not good. What do you think? Who do you think you are? Please don't listen too much to those people. It's about creating your brand, your image that you want to portray to the world and that you want to share to the world, empowering and inspiring women who dare to lead. You want to put your best foot forward, like we've seen with the song. How powerful was this song? I got the chills when I listened to her. And I have another statistics for you. American women, and I have a lot of American statistics because that's where I am. American women control more than $10 trillion, or about a third of the total US household financial assets. So this is the decision making. This is when the women are buying. And that could jump 30 trillion by the end of the decade. So it's another 9-10 years, and it could jump 3 times. Female investors are particularly interested in environmental, social, and corporate governance investments. So women, it seems like from this quote, tend to invest differently than men. So it's about the social and corporate governance and environment. Global change, right? It starts with us. And as wealth begins to move into the hands of women, financial service firms and businesses overall need to commit and adapt to find ways to better meet the needs of female clients and consumer. So the industry also have to change in order to accommodate the women who will be very powerful. And from my friend who is a coffee expert, she says between 20 to 30% of coffee farms are female operated. Positive statistic, it can only grow more. Between 20 to 30 coffee farms are female operated. And 70% of labor in the coffee production is provided by women. There is hope. Let's move on into the sisterhood. This is the important chapter where we learn from Sheryl Sandberg, who is the COO of Facebook. And I see there might be another question. It is important what, I mentioned that, it is important what other people think about, say us in terms of when we talk about promotions, or if we want to invite somebody, she has a voice, she has something to say, she doesn't shy away. And also, equality is sometimes when we make a presentation, when we share an insight, it's about being comfortable, being uncomfortable. So we have two more sayings, and I said it already with the Madonna, but Sheryl Sandberg, the COO of Facebook, says, what would you do if you were not afraid? It's a big question. What would you do if you were not afraid? And the Madonna quote again, a lot of people are afraid to say what they want. That's why they don't get what they want. This should be a tattoo in our mind. Ask for it, ask for what you want. It's important. And another statistic is unemployment in the US as of January 2021. I have that statistic, is that 8.5% of Black women were unemployed. 5.1, no, sorry, I have it wrong. 8.5 of the Black women, 8.8% of the Latina women, and 5.1 of the white women were unemployed. And the statistics get even sadder. 41.1% of Latina moms are the primary breadwinner. 41% of Latina moms are the primary breadwinner. So huge statistic, sad statistic, we need to change it. We're here to change it. And I want to say and show you the statistics about the master's degree. I know some of the women who are helping us out with women leadership and beyond are going for their master's degree. So if we see females are typically in the arts and humanities, like 57%. It goes a little further down. So biology is 57 also, fairly high. Business 45, education 76. No wonder we have so many teachers. So education is very important. Engineering, 27%. So I'm a mentor for a group that's called EdSnaps, and they focus on STEM education, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. And they also add the A for art. Health and medical sciences, again, is very high, 79%. That's where the nurses, the first responders are. Mathematics and computer science, 34%. We need to increase that a little bit. Physical and earth science is 42%. Public administration, again, is 78%. Social and behavioral science, 63%, and other fields is 58%. But overall, 141 over 100 for the men. So women tend to get more master's degrees than men. Then my question, I feel like I'm the devil's advocate here. Why do we see, as an example, in human resources? I used to work in human resources, and there you see a lot of women doing the task, data entry, hiring, firing, put like the onboarding letters together, the leadership and development, typically are women. But then you get into the higher positions like directors, vice president, senior vice president, executive, CHRO. Men, how can this be? So where do they enter, those men? And I remember where I worked, there was somebody in finance, and he said, well, if I want to have a career, at one point, I need to go into human resources. I can work there for 1 or 2 years. I'm a finance person, I understand. No, you need to have an education in human resources. You need to understand diversity, inclusion, equality in order to work in human resources. So sometimes they underestimate what human resources does. Same for the health and medical sciences. Look how high it is. Women need to be at the front as doctors, as first responders, women with a voice. Just going to the Q&A, is there any other? What actions could we do to help our friends, women, to feel more powerful? So for one thing, I also think is looking at that statistics, like women are getting the degrees. So if you have the degree, work in your field, use the power and encourage your friends to go and get a degree. It's always possible. Education is the best that you can invest in yourself. So then the sisterhood, let's unpack that a little more. Who is your role model? And based on that question, how can we support other friends? So if we look at role models like Frida Kahlo, the Mexican painter, I love her. It's just something magical about her art. When she had her exhibit in Paris, in the newspaper, we can read, Diego Rivera's wife had an exhibit. No, this cannot be. So it has to say Frida Kahlo has had, as the first Mexican woman, an exhibit in Paris. What about my grandmother? I call her the first coach. People always went to her house, asked her questions. It can be people who don't have a role in the society, but actually people who are kind of like invisible. And when we think about the lipstick industry, again, to come back to lipstick, Isabella Rossellini, the actress, has been the lipstick model for Lancôme until her age of 43. And then they said to her, you're too old. So she lost her job. Now she's over 60 and they asked her to come back. So there is change happening, but it takes a lot of time. And we need to have more women who are trailblazers, who are helping us to get to that next level. And that question is like, how can we achieve this sisterhood? We can achieve that with mentoring and supporting women. Women leadership and beyond is showing it. It's women are supporting women. And we can go a step further. We're opening doors for others. And if we see that there are small business owned by women, support the small business. Support the small business. Support the women who are putting their foot forward, who are daring to lead, who are paving our way to a better future. So open the doors for others. When you see my last picture, I only have half of me, but the rest is a door. So I'm opening up the doors for others. So think about who is your role model. Frida Kahlo, your mother, your grandmother. There's many women who are inspiring ourselves. And actually today is Barbie Day. Remember the Barbie doll? And it was actually Ruth Handler who started it. And the story goes that she had two kids, Barbara and Ken, Barbie and Ken. This is how it started. So today is not only March 9, where women leadership and beyond is happening, but also Barbie Day. So what do we do with liberty? What's your superpower? And I know this is a big question. What's your dream? If we voice the dream, what did Madonna say? A lot of people don't say what they want. That's why they don't get what they want. So what's your dream? And I can say my dream is to have more of those circles. And I'm somewhat closer to my dream to see you again in June, have a coffee break with you, talk more about how can we strengthen the power of the women, the power of the world. But what's your superpower? Again, what are you proud of? What can you do that nobody can do? So I'm sharing my superpower. So when I was able to travel, and I said I've traveled to 54 countries, wherever I go, people are asking me questions, even if I don't speak the language. I can be sure I can go to anywhere I want. People are asking me questions. I have 2 or 3 examples. I was in India and another woman was asking me, where is the bathroom? How do I know? I've never been there. It was like a rest stop with the buses. Where is the bathroom? So together we found the bathroom. I was in Rio de Janeiro. I only speak very little Portuguese. Saying I don't speak Portuguese, probably that's the best sentence that I can say. People were asking me, which bus is it? to go downtown back to the city when I was at Cristo at the nice event there. Where is the bus? I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm not from here. Did I look like I'm Brazilian? I don't know. And just over the weekend, I was in a small store and the lady said to me something. I thought she said to me, do you want to use the bathroom? And I said, no. But she asked me, I need to go to the bathroom. Can you watch my store? So what is this? So my superpower is probably that I sending a signal out that you can trust me. I'm happy to take care of your store for 5 minutes when you have to go to the bathroom. So the lady was very happy. She says, you know, I'm alone here. I need some help. So I was supporting her. That's my superpower. I'm helping others when they're in need. Again, what is your superpower? What is your dream? Can we get something from the audience?
Susanne,
yes.
Cuando terminemos la ponencia, vamos a dar todas las preguntas.
Okay, está bien. Okay. So then my last few questions that I have, make your dreams become a reality. And again, we talk about dreams and you think like, oh, this cannot happen. Well, we can have them become a reality. What's your dream? So my dream is to have more of those cycles, I think, or circles. We're a step closer. And what's your superpower? And when you think about the superpower, so what I just described, this is combined with my dream. I want to help others. So what's holding you back? We can say the pandemic, but we always have times that are difficult. It's the new reality that we have to focus. So don't use an excuse and say, no, I can't do this because it's the pandemic. It's now the time. It's now the time to disrupt and be different. So be different, be unique, be phenomenal. And ask the question yourself, what can you do today, tomorrow, or next week? Big questions. What's your dream? What's your superpower? What's holding you back? What is that negative voice in your head that say, no, it's not my time. No, it is my time. Tell that voice to shut up. Now is the time that you want to do something. Okay, so I will stop here. I want to be conscientious of the time because Janine will be coming. So muchas gracias and muy amable for the translators and all the helpers. And I also have to say, I learned a lot of Spanish thanks to everybody. So it's about mentoring and supporting each other. Muchas gracias. So what questions do we have here from me?
Querida Susanne, como siempre es un deleite poder escucharte. Te mando un gran abrazo a la distancia y has tenido varias preguntas, entonces vamos a proceder con ellas.
Okay, muy bien.
Lo primero que nos preguntan es, nos preguntan acerca del estudio que presentaste. ¿De dónde proviene ese estudio, el de las estadísticas por género?
Por género de master's degree.
Tenías Sisterhood Statistics. Ese estudio, nos preguntan, ¿qué estudio es?
This is what I found from the newspaper or from other insights that I have, like when women were able to vote. So it's part of my book that I've written, Lipstick Leadership, and I did a lot of research over the past 10 years. So it's actually, thank you for that question. I have written a weekly blog for the past 10 years, and now was the time, it came a time when I put it into a book. It's a lot of statistics, and I have all the references in the book. Thank you for the question. And I know as when we go for a master's degree, we always want to reference the sources. Thank you.
Gracias, Susanne. Aquí nos preguntan, ¿qué acciones podemos realizar para ayudar a otras amigas mujeres a sentirse más poderosas?
So if I understand correctly, it's like, what can we do to feel more powerful? Well, for one thing, everybody looks so beautiful when I saw the WhatsApp picture of the whole team, Janine. So first of all, when you look good, you feel good. I think that's step number one. And a lot of people are laughing when I say that. It is true. So I have blue eyes. If I'm presenting, I'm wearing something blue. That looks much better to me. It's about stepping up and be confident. And after all, if you ask even famous people, if you ask Barbara Streisand, the singer, she's afraid to sing in public. So if she's afraid to sing in public, what about us? So we also don't take yourself so serious. And what if we make a mistake? What if we make a mistake? And a lot of people, when they work with me, they speak Spanish and they say, my English is not good enough. And I'm like, okay, but my Spanish is not good enough. Mi español es muy básico, pero whenever we had a meeting, I was listening into the Spanish and I learned a new word, brecha, this morning, which means the gap. So every time you learn one word more, that gets you closer to your goal. Set goals, learn another language, or learn something new every single year. I think that's how you can uplift yourself and be curious. Don't give up.
Gracias. Nos preguntan también aquí cómo podemos poner en práctica los 3 conceptos que hemos revisado a cabalidad con pequeñas acciones en el día a día. ¿Cómo lo podríamos hacer? ¿Qué nos recomiendas?
So what kind of like of the 3 elements, what can we do? So again, as I said, equality is about the learning part. The sisterhood is about the support part. And the liberty is like to break out of the status quo, whatever is possible. And if we don't have dreams, I talk to many people as my clients and I say, what is your dream? And I'm always a little sad when they say, I don't have a dream. So be curious and have a dream. And when you were little, when people were asking you, what do you want to be when you are an adult? You always had an answer. You had an answer. I want to be a maestra, like a teacher, or I want to be these days an engineer. I want to be a fashion person. I want to be an influencer these days on Instagram. People have an answer, the young kids. Listen to them. The kids are much more curious than we are. So ask questions, challenge the status quo, and do something that you like. Only you like, not what people want to do.
Y ya para finalizar, nos están pidiendo, y esta pregunta se repitió en varias ocasiones, ¿qué consejo le darías a las mujeres, especialmente, digamos, a las mujeres latinas, a las que nos enseñaron, como aquí se dice, que calladitas nos vemos más bonitas?
So if I understood correctly, maybe I need some help. What else can we do than just to put the lipstick on?
No. Hay un dicho aquí en México que dice que las mujeres calladitas nos vemos más bonitas. Que no demos nuestra opinión, que debemos mantener la boca cerrada.
La boca cerrada. No boca cerrada. So we have to open up the mouth and be confident and stand up. And if you think men are not afraid, they're equally afraid. So I think it's, again, if you have your master's degree, work in your field, be proud of what you have. And when you saw that picture, you have to hand up. It's the victory. Let's say you go into a meeting and you're like, I don't know. So you have your shoulders up. No, have your shoulders down, do the victory. You're the Superman, you're the Superwoman. Talk to me. I think I can give you some more insights. It's about taking one step at a time, one day at a time, and never give up. Listen to Kamala Harris. I may be the first, but I won't be the last. So if you're the first, you have to take extra steps, but then you pave the way for others. And Women Leadership and Beyond is showing it. It's not easy, but we're doing it. And it's beautiful to see what we can do. So speak up, don't cierra la boca.
Susanne, una vez más, muchísimas gracias por tu participación. Sabes que eres demasiado apreciada por todos nosotros. Te agradecemos sobre todo que nos hayas traído estas preguntas, porque ya vimos que el cambio es necesario y todas las ventajas que tiene y todo lo que podemos hacer a nivel organizacional o a nivel empresarial o a nivel sociedad, pero a nivel personal creo que es donde tenemos que hacernos esas valiosas preguntas que tú has planteado, así que creo que todas tenemos tarea para la casa. Te mando un fuerte abrazo, Susanne.
Sí,
Muchísimas
también.
gracias.
Muchísimas gracias. Adiós a todas.
Adiós, Susanne.